Hey guys, just a quick video on using the basics of a flat file. So first thing you want to do is you want to go to orders and then order reports, and then from here you request a report. What you've got in there is all your live action on your current SKUs. So once you want to bring that information over, it's just things like the current stock levels and stuff. It's quite useful for cutting and pasting that into your new worksheet that you will be downloading shortly. So you do that first, and then you refresh, and then you would download it, open it up, and then you would take the information that's required that you can cut and paste across. It just makes it easier when you're flicking through spreadsheets rather than keep coming back into the interface in your inventory and maybe going to the edit page, etc. So next up would be we go to add products via upload. And so what you want to do here first is you want to do the product classifier. So you may already know where you are anyway, but by going here you can type in the name and it will give you a classification ID like the browsing node, and then you can download the summary. And so again, that information will then go into your sheet. The next step from there, we'll return back there. And then what we want to do is we want to download a template. So your classifier, let's say it's a garlic press and it's in home and garden. You would then go and use that classifier, and you want to get a standard template, not the light ones. Go down and then get your home and garden. You then open it up. I just enable this here. I'm not sure why I get errors, maybe because I'm on a Mac. So I just ignore this information here and I end it. Right, okay, so all the instructions are in here. It's a bit dull and boring to read, okay, but this gives you the information on your file template. So the template's here, and you would use one line. You know, you put your SKU, your product IDs. Can you see how the splash screen comes up to give you an ID as well? So you can understand what information goes in here. You've also got an example, so you can see here, if this is your SKU, I can go to my template here and I would cut that and paste that in. Okay, so there's another example. Right, we know this is our own title, so we'll put that in. So we look for the title, there we go. And so if there's stuff you're not sure of, for instance, like product ID and product ID here, just read the information that you see. It's EAN or UPC. So you can look at the examples here and go, right, okay, so this is a UPC code, and this is the type of code it is. Like, we know this is the UPC code, but this is telling the system, right, use this as a UPC code. Okay, then it gives you the product type. Again, if you're unsure about the names, just go into data definitions here, and so you can have a scroll through and it will give you a breakdown of descriptions here. So like with brand name, product feed type, manufacturer part number, and there's the examples that's showing you the accepted values here as well. Now what you tend to find is you won't fill out all of this information. You'll fill out quite a lot, but to be honest with you, there's key information here. If I was to run through, all these fields above would pretty much get filled in. Your brand, your manufacturer, your feed type, part number, if you've got one. This one's quite important here. This will tell you if you're updating an existing listing, you can do what's called a partial update. Again, the data definitions will go through here. They'll also tell you in the data definitions what's required. Okay, so you can see it's optional and what's required here. So we can see currency, standard price, your quantity, your sale end date. Now where it starts to get a little bit more tricky is that when you're doing single items, this stuff is quite straightforward to complete. Okay, but once you start getting to using like a parent-child arrangements, then it starts to get a little bit more difficult. Obviously you might have a you have your parent at the top, and then you may have 6 children underneath, and so they have to be structured in a certain way to for the system to obviously accept that. So my suggestion is, just to get started, is that I would use this as a testing tool and upload one product at a time. That way you can get a feel for it, because you can always come back to this spreadsheet and add more information to it, and then make the adaptations to go to the stage of where you want to upload it as a variation. Now, you won't upload this file as it is. This is the flat file, and it's an Excel file at the moment. What you would do is you file save as a text delimited, TXT. Yeah, it's a delimited file, and you would use that because then that's a single file that uploads into the system. When that file is ready, you'll get to the stage where you're going to upload the file. So this file, in this case, because you're doing a full update, a partial update, or uploading a new SKU or a number of SKUs, you would use inventory files for non-media categories if you're outside the non-media categories. Now, there's two parts to this. You can upload this file in terms of, you can upload now, or you can check my file. Now, what I would do is I would check my file first, just so that you can get an error report that comes back. You've got a thing called a batch ID, and so when you raise a ticket for the guys at Amazon, they would ask for the batch ID, so they know where the repairs to make. So it's quite a simple process to use this, but the downside of doing this is that Amazon staff don't all seem to be trained on it. You also got a system that's got to be quite exact, so any errors can take a while to find if you don't understand the batch ID. There are advantages of it, but you need to get over the learning curve, and that's going to come from keep uploading the files and reading the error reports, and then from there deciding what to do next.